Shalom, brothers and sisters. It's the Hebrew Life again. I'm Base Jerusalem, and I'm back with another important lesson. A very important lesson. We're going to call this one, How Do I Know I'm a Hebrew Israelite? Yes, you heard it. You heard it right. How do I know I'm a Hebrew Israelite? This is a very special lesson. I can't even express how important it is. How do I know you're the Hebrew Israelites? Well, we're going to talk first. Who are black people in America today? We're referred to as African Americans. Black people mainly in America are referred to as African Americans. How could you be an African American? How could you have claims to two lands? You got African, then you got American. When you think about it, every other nation in the world, they have one claim to one land. You're either Korean or Russian or Chinese or wherever land you come from. If you were from Australia, you'd be an Australian. So, who are black people? How could you be an African American? If you are from Africa, what nation of Africa are you from? Because no nation has claimed you. I'm going to tell you who are today. In Deuteronomy 28:68, I'm going to read. And it says, And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I speak unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there you should be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Now, what I read here is the Most High Moses telling the Israelites that they should be sold and they should go to Egypt again on ships. If anybody knows where Egypt and Israel is located, you can walk. You can literally walk. It's in walking distance. So the Most High is talking about another Egypt with the Israelite people. What Egypt is that? It's not. I'm going to show you. If you have a dollar bill in the back of your pocket, turn it around. Right there. Boom. That's the Egypt the Most High was speaking about. He was not speaking about Egypt, Mizraim. He was speaking about this Egypt. Why does America have the Egyptian pyramids of Giza on the back of their dollar bill and they're not in America? Because the only thing they have connected to that is us. Moses and his people walked out of Egypt. We built Egypt. We built this civilization in America. The Most High said he would take you to Egypt again on ships. Now we're going to find out why the Most High sent these people to Egypt. Because it seems like to me, if these are the people of the Most High and he wanted to punish them, this has to be a disobedient, sottish group of people. And the only people I could think of in the world so sottish, so silly, so not even into caring about what's going on or who they are or their heritage, is black people in America today. They're the most ignorant. They're the most lost. We're the most lost people in the world. And the world knows it and they profit off of it. See, this was by design. I'm going to prove that today. I'm going to read. Because thou servest not thy Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flieth, as a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee corn, wine, or oil, or increase of thy kind, or flock, or of sheep, or until thou have been destroyed. If you read right here, the Most High said, this nation is going to take everything from us. We're going to be in want of all things. We're going to be naked and in want of all things from this nation. The only people on earth I could think that was took on ships to another nation and was in want of all things and had everything took from them, a nation who regarded not the young nor the old, is America and the black people in America. This is the only equation that equals this in Deuteronomy 28. What you're reading is a black history book. That's what you're reading. You're reading a black history book, and you don't even know it. Right there, the scriptures tell you that you should be taken to Egypt again on ships, and you should serve another nation. Is this not what the black people did in America? We all know that. This is not the fake Jews. They never, the so-called Jews overseas posing as us, because we have a script for them too. We're not even going to get into that. But this is not them. You cannot find any history of them being taken to another nation, serving another people, being slaves. You can't find it. Now we're going to go into this even more about this people in Deuteronomy 28, and how do I know you're a Hebrew Israelite? Now everybody's not a Hebrew Israelite, but how do I know you are? Well, if you fit these curses, we know you're a Hebrew Israelite. If your ancestors went through this, we know you're a Hebrew Israelite. Okay, we're going to start at verse 15 of Deuteronomy 28. Because we already know, I'm not even going to read the blessings, because we already know black people can show signs of being the greatest people on earth. We're the fastest, strongest, smartest people on earth. But at the same time, we're these people who lack an understanding, these people who lack guidance and lack standards. And it don't make sense to people. It don't make sense to be so blessed but so cursed at the same time. We're going to go into this. Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. You see right there, the Most High saying that we don't follow his law, statute, commandments. What black people don't have today, they don't have any laws or statutes or commandments to tell them what to do. They're running wild. We're leading in everything bad. We're the most in jail, the most with AIDS, the most dying from gun violence. It's just horrible. This has to be us. I'm going to read the curses, and you tell me if this sounds like us, black people in America. Cursed shalt thou be in the city. Cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, and the increase of thy kind, and thy flock of thy sheep. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that settles into thy hands, for to do until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because the wickedness of thy doings, where thou hast forsaken me. The Lord shall make pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee off the land, whether thou go and possess it. I'm going to stop right there. All of these bad things happen to this so-called people of the Most High coming out of Egypt with Moses. This has to be black people in America. I don't know any other people that's just so out of line with no standards. This sounds like everything. Black, curse be thy fruit. Curses the black people. You see black people have children all the time, and they go out on the streets and they get killed or they go to jail. That's the fruit of thy body. It's crazy. Curse be thy in the city. Brothers going to jail, getting killed, locked up in the city all the time, and curse be in the field. That's the country. People, the same thing happened down south. We were cursed in the field. In the north, we were cursed in the city. And now I'm going to continue to read these curses, because these curses are very important to connecting the black people in America with the children of Israel. Okay. We're going to start at verse 30 of chapter 28. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather grapes. Now, the only people I could think that had their wife taken from them, the only people I could think that built the house and they didn't stay in it, they took care of field and they didn't reap the benefits of it, are black people in slavery. We were slaves for free labor. We picked cotton for free. We built master's house for free. When master wanted to take our women, he went and grabbed our women and took them back to the outhouse and did his thing with them. We're the only people this happened to. Nobody else in the world can take claim to this and these curses, and nobody else has came up and took the claims to these curses. Not even the Jews, the fake Jews. They can't even say they went through this. Now, what you have is black people today in America ashamed of this thing happening to them. So they say they came to America, they were already here, or you got all these excuses. We're Egyptian. Well, how did you get here, Egyptian? Because it said you was gonna come to Egypt again. You got all these excuses because black people are ashamed of what's happened to them and who they become. You are Israelites, black people in America, and black people all around the world, scattered to the four corners of the earth. You know when you're Hebrew Israelite, your soul will glow. You know. The Most High says sheep hears his voice. You will hear his voice. Man, I mean, all through Deuteronomy is the curses of black people. I could go on and show you similarities of what black people went through and compare it to the curses of Deuteronomy, and you're going to find out that it's us. It's black people in America. Read the Bible for yourself, and when you come up on Deuteronomy, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. Now, you can't understand what I'm talking about if you don't set out to read the scriptures yourself. You won't. You're not going to understand. You don't have the Spirit with you. It's easy to make an imaginary world and say you're not the Israelites. You're not this people who were slaves. You're not this people who were sold out of Africa. Speaking of Africa, we're going to go to that. How do we come into Africa? We're going to go to Matthew before this lesson ends. Because Yeshua told us to flee to the mountains. We were fighting in 70 AD. We were ran out of Rome by the Romans. See, when you watch the History Channel, they're going to show the Romans fighting in Jerusalem, and the people they're chasing out of Jerusalem are going to be white themselves. So you're not going to understand that this is you being ran out of Jerusalem. You're not going to understand it. We were ran into Africa. We were sold to America by the Africans because we weren't African. You weren't African. We're going to go to Galatians to end this. I was going to go to Matthew, but I'm going to go... Matter of fact, I'm going to Matthew. I'm going to go to Matthew. Matthew 24 and 15. Wherefore shalt thou see the abominations and desolations spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place? Whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But I pray to you, to your flight to be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then there shall be a great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no,